angry guy here. And in a shocking discovery, more than half of couples don't make love on their wedding night. I think that's a big surprise for a lot of people. So, this is probably going to be a huge surprise for a lot of people, but more than half of couples don't make love on their wedding nights. And this is a recent, well, this is a finding that's been going on for a couple of years and now being backed up by quite a bit of data. So, a lot of people often think, you get married and you're on the honeymoon now, and the wedding night is going to be like the best night of your life, right? Yeah, think again. So, new research has found after surveying numerous couples that in reality, more than half of all couples don't actually make love on their wedding night. To top that off, they also did another survey where they found that over 50% of married men report that they are not satisfied with the amount of lovemaking happening in their relationship. So this is all really becoming very concerning. So here's the article. This one's on brides.com, but the main one that I wanted to look at was actually on Bustle. And I was surprised when I saw these statistics, but why more than half of couples don't make love on their wedding night, all right? So if we're being totally honest, I think weddings are pretty exhausting. Whether you're a casual attendee in the wedding party or the bride herself, interesting how they don't mention the groom. It seems like the hype surrounding a wedding is the only thing that keeps your brain functioning as everyone parties well into the night. Naturally, the bride and groom take the hardest time. They spend hours getting ready, mingling with their guests, and doing any last minute prep to make sure their day is perfect. So, is it really that hard to believe that many newlyweds don't make love on their wedding night? According to a new survey of 1,000 heterosexual couples by lingerie brand Bluebella, more than half of just married couples don't make love on the night of their nuptials. But who can blame them? Weddings take every last ounce of energy out of you, and chances are the newlyweds have already made love before and have a lifetime ahead of them to do it again. As romantic as weddings are in theory, the reality is that being on your feet from dusk till dawn will totally wipe you out no matter how attractive you find your new spouse. For women surveyed, the main reason they cited for not making love on their wedding night was, you guessed it, exhaustion. For men, however, their number one excuse was being too intoxicated after a day-long celebration. Other reasons men and women had for not making love on their wedding night were wanting to wait for the perfect moment, being too emotional, wanting to continue partying with friends, and traveling for their honeymoon. Is that so? Lubella Chief Executive Emily Bendel says couples are under so much pressure these days to have a perfect day that it is refreshing that so many are defying expected norms and doing exactly what they want. If that means saving the wedding night until they can really enjoy it, then why not? Agreed. Agreed. No matter the reason, it's clear that for many couples, the perfect wedding night doesn't in fact include lovemaking. For many couples, I mean most couples, okay? Here are 7 interesting facts about newlyweds that the survey revealed. A third of couples wait until the next morning. 9% of people wait 2 days before making love. 16% of people are disappointed by wedding night lovemaking. 89% of brides buy special wedding night lingerie, okay? But 37% of brides go to bed in different lingerie. Interesting. Interesting. 2% of marriages aren't consummated in the first week, and 1% aren't consummated at all. So, guys, there's actually a lot of marriages where the people get married and they never actually make love even once while they're married. So, and what about, I mean, it's 1% is still a lot. I mean, think about this very, very carefully, guys. If you have 1 million people getting married on a yearly basis, right? And 1% of that, I'm thinking, is going to be what, like 10,000 people? So 10,000 people every year get married and don't actually make love ever throughout their relationship. Think about that very carefully. All right? Think about those numbers. So 10,000 people, this is a rough estimate, get married every year, every year, and don't make love ever, not even once throughout their relationship. That is, personally, I find that to be a little difficult. Honestly, I mean, to each their own, but yeah. There's another article here. Do you need to make love on your first wedding night? Okay. No matter how hard you try, it's impossible to avoid the not so subtle comments friends and even family members might make about your wedding night. From the lingerie shower to premature questions about whether you'll be having kids, it's shocking how much people want to talk about your lovemaking life as soon as you're about to head down the aisle. But the only person you actually need to consider when it comes to what happens in the honeymoon suite is your partner yourself. So is lovemaking on your wedding night a must? Here's what our experts say. Let's cut to the chase. You do not have to make love on your wedding night or any time at all if you're not feeling it. End of story. So if people ask, let them know that you never kiss and tell and leave it at that. It's up to you and your partner whether you do the deed, and those nosy Nancys don't belong in your bedroom. If you and your partner are looking forward to getting busy when it's all said and done, we say go for it. Pack whatever you need, whatever you think you might need in your overnight bag, from lingerie to lubrication and anything in between, and make sure it's delivered to the honeymoon suite. Just knowing those goodies are waiting for you at the end of the night could be the extra motivation it takes to get you to slip away from the after party a little early, or find a second or third wind at the last night winds down. As the last night winds down. Experts say planning lovemaking is a great way to prioritize your lovemaking lives and intimacy as life gets busy. And we can't think of a more romantic and love-filled scenario to look forward to than your wedding night. Now, guys, I mean, planning ahead, guys, what kind of, I don't know, this kind of planning, like what, coordinating lovemaking. What kind of society do we live in anymore? I don't know, guys. I mean, like I said, we're heading into quite a large recession right now, more of a global financial crisis, and the number of marriages are really on decline. They've been declining like year over year. So, I mean, I think more so we should be focusing on building wealth. As you guys already know, Bitcoin is now literally, it's at $9,937. So it's right at the cusp of 10 grand. And we all know that's a psychological point where, you know, it can literally jump from 10 grand to 15,000 and even 20,000 just like that. Like, I mean, literally within a day. So as I said, you guys should be making your investments. Mickey Turner actually said to me, he said, hey, Angry, you do know that a lot of people don't get paid until, he said a lot of people don't get paid until Friday or Saturday. All right. So some of those flash sales you're doing, we can't even, not everyone gets to take advantage of them. So here's what I'm doing for you guys. All courses are on sale for $129.99 right now. Okay. All of them. The new strategy you must use to become a crypto millionaire course is on sale. Taking profits, how to take profits from crypto money and not lose your entire investment is on sale. How to get tons of valuable free Well, how to get tons of valuable cryptocurrency for free without mining or paying for it is on sale. How to choose and invest in altcoins that will increase by 10 times to 1,000 times or more. That course is on sale for $129.99. It usually goes for $299, and all the other courses are on sale for $129. And they will be on sale for the length of this stream. So when the stream ends, the sale ends. All right. How do you guys like that as a flash sale? When the stream ends, the sale ends. So you guys literally have until the end of the stream, if you'd like to pick up a course at that price for $129.99, please go ahead and do so now before the stream ends, because when the stream ends, the sale ends. All right, the flash sale ends. So you have until the end of the stream to go and pick up a course. You never know when that's going to happen. So good luck to all of you. I think it's funny what's happening in our society as more and more people are kind of becoming divided, separated from each other. And I don't really think that it spells a lot of positivity, going forward. I mean, so many millennials are just not marrying, not forming family units. And it's quite concerning right now. I did tell you, I talked about this years ago, that researchers were going to start to get really, really worried. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Why is the birth rate and marriage rates falling so quickly? And now literally that's happening now. Like, researchers can't understand why the birth rates are falling so much. I mean, it is pretty concerning. It is pretty concerning right now that so many millennials are choosing not to get married, not to start family households. And, what can you really say about that? What can we really say about that? I don't know, guys. Like, it's really culminating into something increasingly more and more serious. For example, many of the millennials have already missed the window. They've already missed that window, that reproductive window where they would have children. Okay. And, for many of us are, okay. So the millennial years go from 1981 to something like 1996. Millennial years are like 1981 through 1996. So the oldest millennials right now are actually about 38 years old, or they will be 38 years old this year. I'm one of the oldest millennials, although I'm not 38, but I'm getting there. One of the most concerning things, however, is that this idea that millennials are starting off later in life, but it's okay to have start a family at 40, and I'm like scratching my head a little bit on this one. Like, start a family at 40, it's not that easy anymore. It really is, and it's not going to be feasible or even possible for everyone. But it's something that we can't really talk about anymore, because if you speak about it, then you might just run the risk of upsetting one who's in complete and utter denial of the current circumstances around us, of current social and societal norms. Like, it's just even discussing about basic human biology. So, that is something that I think we all do have to consider as we are moving forward with our lives. The fact that we are definitely running into a place right now where, birth rates are low, marriage rates are just, relationships in general have fallen off by the wayside, and it's not getting better. As we're heading into a global economic crisis, the truth is that the rates are only going to go down further. Marriage rates are only going to go down further. Birth rates are only going to plummet even more. And this is going to have a startling effect on the future. Like, literally, we're talking about Japan level proportions. And of course, what the government will try to do is try to increase immigration. That's what they always try to do. They'll try to increase immigration numbers to balance out the loss of people. But honestly, I don't believe that that is going to be the solution. So let's go ahead and check out this article. The record low birth rate offers yet another sign that millennials are economically screwed. Would you have kids if you were drowning in debt? Okay, this article is from May 31st. Okay, the record low birth rate. Record low birth rate. Okay, so it's pretty bad. The birth rate in the United States is the lowest it's been in 30 years. We recently learned, and the decline is spreading across the age cohorts. In the past, the explanation this was straightforward. As women gain greater access to educational and workplace opportunities, along with more accessible and effective contraceptives, some of them delayed having children. And in part, that explanation still holds, especially when it comes to the plummeting birth rate among teenagers. A good thing by all accounts, where this extent of the story and the data, a low birth rate wouldn't constitute much of a concern. But a closer look reveals two issues, one ethical and one economical. The ethical concern is that the number of women who want children but aren't having them is growing. As Lehman Stone wrote in the New York Times, the gap between the number of children that women say they want to have, 2.7, and the number of children that they will probably actually have, 1.8, has risen to the highest level in 40 years. Rather than a natural reflection of a changing society, this is a political problem that needs to be addressed. Just as women should have the choice not to have children, in the substantive sense of being free of the insidious coercion of the market as well as legal barriers, so too should they be free to raise a family. But as these numbers show, many women do not have such a choice. That brings us to the economics. Following a significant drop in the birth rate after the 2008 recession, women are continuing to have fewer children. Why hasn't the rate recovered? There are many reasons besides economic incentives to put off having children, as Vox Julia Beluz pointed out. But sociologists and economists agree that the economy plays a role. One study even found fertility rates to be a leading economic indicator, predicting downturns and upticks in advance, while another found the sharp decline in fertility rates to be closely linked to the souring economy that began around 2008. Guys, this article is from 2018, all right? The souring economy. But everything's okay, guys. Everything's okay. Why would we expect millennials saddled with debt to decide it's a great time to have kids? Indebtedness is through the roof. Young people, precisely those foregoing childbearing, the dreaded millennials, can barely keep their heads above water. Credit card debt in the U.S. surpassed $1 trillion this year, while student debt hit the $1 trillion mark 6 years ago. Keep in mind, guys, student loan debt is actually at $1.5 trillion right now. Meanwhile, per use crowdfunding sites like GoFundMe or Kickstarter, and you'll see that one of the most common reasons people use such sites to seek help, is to seek help with medical debt. The idea of bringing a child into the world seems irresponsible or even downright impossible, especially for many of us who live with our parents, or the many more who rent glorified broom closets in apartments we share with multiple roommates. All right? Here's another article for you guys. This one's from May 26, 2019. And it actually says, we have greatly underestimated feminism's harmful influence on millennials, all right? Oh, gosh. So let's see if I can get, okay. So we have greatly underestimated feminism's harmful influence on millennials, right? And when it comes to the problems millennials face, this is actually from the Washington Examiner. Washington Examiner, guys, this is a very, very big publication. All right, we're talking about like the daily news. As I mentioned in my last post about the debt millennials have incurred, their predicament isn't their fault. It's their parents' fault. It's baby boomers who led millennials astray. We suffered from the educational debt phenomenon. Okay, so insightful conservative comment. We suffered from the educational debt phenomenon because when we couldn't find jobs, a lot of us went to college or we got graduate degrees. Our boomer parents encouraged us to fund a lot of that with debt. on the premise that it would eventually pay off in the job market. But that was clearly wrong, and we're paying the price for it, writes Wall Street Journal columnist Joseph Sternberg in this interview about his new book, The Theft of a Decade: How the Baby Boomers Stole the Millennials' Economic Future. That is unquestionably true, but it's not enough. Too few are willing to discuss the social narrative boomers promoted that resulted in the economic troubles the millennials now face. As Simon Sinek explains in the wildly successful video about millennials in the workplace, there are 4 pillars that landed millennials in the boat they're in: parenting, technology, impatience, and environment. Too many millennials grew up subject to not my words failed parenting strategies. Note Sinek, millennials were routinely told, for instance, that they were special. They were told that they could have anything they want in life just because they want it. Once again, true, but there's more to it than that. Oh my gosh. This message to which Sinek refers was specifically directed to girls by their feminist-minded mothers. Sinek talks about the self-esteem movement and the harm it's done to millennials, and I agree. This is from the article, but we can't separate the self-esteem movement from the feminist movement. They're two sides of the same coin. The self-esteem movement says, there's no one quite like you. You're amazing. Go seize the world. And feminism says, your mother's lives were constrained. Don't live the way they did. Reach for the stars instead. As a result, girls and young women both then and now feel entitled to live that defy description. They should be out of this world exciting. It was a powerful message that set off a chain of events. Oh my. Guys, it was a powerful message that set off a chain of events. Millennials are the first generation of women to postpone marriage and motherhood and instead pile up degree upon degree that would make them more marketable and theoretically help them to get established for marriage, but instead have dealt them a cruel blow. Now they're in debt and can't afford to get married. No one told these women that when previous generations got married, they had zero money saved, but they also had no debt. The idea for marriage is to grow together, but that's not what boomers taught millennials. Why would they? Boomers are the generation that brought us divorce. Oh my gosh. Guys, this is from the Washington Examiner. The Washington Examiner, guys. Washington Examiner. This is crazy. Okay? When a huge publication like this puts out this type of video, this type of article is unbelievable. And they're basically piling everything onto the boomers, okay? They're piling everything on the boomers. They're saying the generation that brought us divorce. They didn't want their children, again, their daughters in particular, to get married. Why just be a wife and mother when you can rule the world? Well, with this one simple but destructive message, everything changed. Today, more than half of young people don't have a romantic partner at all. Guys, listen to this. Today, more than half of all young people don't have a romantic partner at all. Okay? Let alone a spouse. Marriage has taken a serious nosedive, and we are all worse off as a result. At the end of the day, Americans have underestimated the power the feminist narrative had on an entire generation of women. Even millennials don't understand it. They never knew any other way to live, but that is changing. Millennials were told that they were special, but learned that they aren't. They were told that they need a man. They were told that they don't need a man, but learned that they do. They were told that children will hold them back, but discovered that children are precisely what they want. In fact, family is all they really want. Only now they are too old or too broke to have one. Wow. Wow, guys. Wow, this article was written by Suzanne Venker. This article was written by Suzanne Venker, guys. Wow. I mean, sometimes you talk about like burn. Wow. They're too old and too broke. Guys, like I said, they said the millennials, we are too old and too broke to have kids and start families. Like I said, guys, we're heading into a terrible economic time. If you want to pick up a course right now at the flash sale price of $129.99, you better do so before the stream ends. Because when the stream ends, the sale ends. All courses are going for $129.99 right now. And as soon as the stream ends, the sale ends. Guys, let me read some of the comments. I'll give you like another minute to go jump on that. Ruffy says, bruh, there's this one article I read a couple of years back. Was about an online community of women making wedding confessions. Okay. Ninja says, let the women... I'm not going to read that. But thank you for that comment. Cryptonomy says, couldn't agree more. The American X says, become crypto master today by catching them all. Gotta catch them all. It's you and me. You know it's my destiny. Oh gosh. Daniel Lutley is posting. Oh my guys, listen, you better be out there getting your money, all right? Because I know I am. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're working on. You're like getting a peek of my page, like a sneak peek of like my, you're getting a sneak peek of my of my workspace. All right. So let me know what you guys think. If you're surprised that couples are not making love on their wedding night, couples are like not making, more than half of all young people are not in any romantic relationship at all, and childbirths are at a record low and they continue to fall. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you see for the future? Honestly, I think that it's only going to lead to more problems, more confusion, and more difficulty going forward, because the declining population is really an issue that we're all going to end up having to face, and it's an issue that's going to really affect all of us, I think. I don't think that it's going to be simple. I think that in the long term, we're all going to see major implications of declining marriage, declining birth rates, declining relationships. And I think a lot of people will potentially just end up leaving Western countries and giving up entirely. Like, especially so many millennials are just walking away because they can't afford to pay these massive amounts of debt. So, I mean, there is that to consider. You know what I'm going to do for you guys? I'm going to give you guys 1 hour after the stream ends to go and get a course from cryptomoney.academy. Okay. I'm going to give you 1 hour. I'm going to give you 1 hour to go and get yourself a course from cryptomoney.academy. All right. So that I'm going to extend the sale for I'll make it 2 hours. Extend the sale for 2 hours. So give you guys 2 hours from the end of this video to go and get yourself a course. All right. It was the course that you wanted. Let me see here. Let's go ahead and put that. I'm going to put this in here. There we go. Guys, me personally, I think that we're just going to continue seeing a rapid decline until it culminates into something that ultimately becomes a political issue or politicized issue. And by that point, there's not going to be much that any of us can do. So I think that's something that we should really all take note of right now, because it's a really tough situation that we're all facing, that we're all looking at. And if you want to know the truth, I've said this before, but population decline is not good for us. No matter what anyone tells you, population decline is not good for us. It's something that can be truly catastrophic, and it can really create a lot of problems. So again, let me know what you think in the comments. Jeremy Organ said that he picked up the 10 times to 1,000 times course. Good for you, bro. Definitely good job. Let me see here. Yeah, guys, I mean, that's really how it is. You guys have to be on top of your game right now. I mean, like I said, at the time of making this video, Bitcoin is going for $9,932. We are so close to breaking 10,000, guys. And like I said, that's a psychological barrier for people. Once it hits 10,000, it can shoot to 15 and so forth. And you have to know what coins to invest in. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get going. Love God, get money, and shares. You can find all the links in the description of the video if you want to take a course in crypto money. Got 2 hours.